first of all, my name is Neville Williams-Boney. I'm a Wiradjuri Man from a town called Wagga Wagga, and I would personally just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of these lands, the Eora people. Give us thanks for looking after the land for thousands of years so we can be here to enjoy them, and then now it's up to us to make sure those animals, plants, air, water are still here for our future generations to care for and to actually see them. So the art is, for me, I didn't really start in art. I was like a footballer head, nothing, didn't think of dance like nothing, so should have been there when I told my dad that I was like quitting football and doing dance. Oh, no. And then, but now I'm like the, kind of the most successful out of all my siblings, so he's actually kind of proud of that now. So it's like he tells everyone about it now, but before he wouldn't. So the arts, to me, through art I found my culture. So I graduated from Naser Dance College in 2018. Before like 2015, I knew nothing about my own culture and about Aboriginal culture in general, and I barely knew anything. And then through dance is how I learned all the stories and all the knowledge that I've gotten through my dance training at Naser Dance College. And so I guess for me, I kind of take what I've learned from my cultural background and from being on this country for tens of thousands of years, and then through dance, I get to teach kids. That's where I was today, actually teaching kids out in Picton about Oka and about their culture and the proudness I feel when they're dancing and they're learning and taking it all in. And I use that kind of art into all of my endeavors. So when I'm at a zookeeper, I teach kids how to dance, what to do if you get bitten by a snake, and what to do. And they do the dance to remember what to do if you get bitten by a snake, which is very helpful. And then, I learn stories about the animals, and I teach them about the animals and what we know because my people, we were botanists, we were astronomers, we were zoologists, we were everything. And we learn for thousands of years. We learn stories and we learn information through dance, through song, through story. Just like probably reiterating everyone's point here, that through art it's easier to remember a meaning and empathy and learn like the true value of something rather than facts and figures. Like you forget that suddenly. Like how many of you guys could remember a nursery or a storybook from when you're young, or a nursery rhyme or a melody when you're younger? Like studies have shown this over and over again, that art works, but people just don't make that connection. 250 years, white people have been here, and look what's happened already. Koalas are like now endangered. We've lost so many animals already. Being as a zookeeper, so many plants are all endangered also. Native plants are supposed to be here. Talking with people from other Sydney theatre company of doing teaching artists, like they need a teaching artist in politician, like in the government. They need someone to come in that knows how to teach them through art, because it is about that critical thinking. It is about, I think the fear is not us. I think the fear is them, because they fear that they'll lose power if they give it over. Cis white straight men's been ruling the world for however long, and they're just ruining it. And so, they're just scared of this art. They're scared of this critical thinking. But with critical thinking comes that compassion, comes that immersive of ideas, and the world that we could have been, like if when the first Britain came over, when British came over, they imagine the world that could have been if we just kind of worked together and kind of had that creative thinking together. We could have evolved the First Nations ideas with British technology into a world that could have been very, very sustainable. Like just thinking about it is just crazy. Like why couldn't it? And why can't we start now? Like I think my running joke at the reptile park is the only thing in 250 years of the government being here, the only thing they've done right is the fact that Antivenom is free for anyone who gets bitten by a snake. Like everyone laughs but it's like as an Aboriginal person, as a First Nation person, as an artist, as a gay man, like when has the government actually done something right? What I feel kind of hopeful for is that this new way of the way the arts is going, and this idea of storytelling, like everyone's been saying that, like this idea of storytelling. And as a First Nation person, that makes me really proud, because like I've been saying, that we've been doing this for thousands of years, and then that knowledge and that way of learning is actually finally creeping up, and that it wasn't seen as like, Dream Dome stories is stories, and that it actually means something, which is kind of cool. So I feel very hopeful for that. And I guess the second part of that question, it's what I do is like, I guess it's what I do now is that I just keep teaching students the way I've been teaching them through First Nations like way of teachings, and then teach them about First Nations people, but then our knowledges, then they remember. And at the park, I do the same thing when I go into schools, when I do universities, when I teach anywhere I go, even if I'm just yarning around the fire. Like, I had that same kind of mentality, and that's what I'm doing for the arts, is to keep that burning.